The Xbox Series X and S continues to outsell the PlayStation 5 in March. We have some Starfield leaked images, plus some other things I want to go over. So as we know, the month of March has been very successful for the Xbox Series X and S for a multitude of reasons. One of the big reasons has to do with sales and it outselling the PlayStation 5. People are thinking this is because they've just pretty much produced a lot more consoles than the PS5, and we've seen the Xbox Series X just more widely available, seemingly looking like if you are in the market for getting an Xbox Series X, you're going to have an easier time now going forward. And we got the final week of March sales numbers, and here is what we have. It says here the Xbox Series X and S sold 220,631 units, bringing its lifetime sales to 13.66 million units. The PlayStation 5 sold an estimated 211,765 units, bringing its lifetime sales to 18.66 million units. Now, in terms of how these sales look compared to the same time frame last year, it looks like the Xbox Series X is really the only one that is up. So the Nintendo Switch, the same week a year ago, is down 54.2%. The PS5 is down 32%, but the Xbox Series X and S is up 73.2%, which I think is huge, showing how Xbox has continued to ramp up their production and get more product out there for people to pick up and buy, and they're all pretty much selling out. They're still hard to get in a sense that you're going to have to jump in there. You're going to have to go and look for it, but you should have a little bit of an easier time. You may not have to jump on literally instantly. You see a link pop up. You may even luckily walk into a store and find a unit there. I've never seen one in the wild yet. I'm going to keep my eyes open when I go to shops and see maybe there's an Xbox Series X there. It'll be the first time I'll ever see it, so it'll be pretty cool. Now, overall, I mean, lifetime sales, the PS5 is still ahead in general, and I think as we go through this generation, the race will be very tight, way tighter than last generation, but the PS5 will still be selling more units. And we talk about this all the time. Generally do have to repeat it when I talk about sales numbers, so people don't twist it in the sense that hardware sales just don't mean as much as getting into the ecosystem to Xbox. Hardware sales is just another avenue, and they've been able to supplement the lack of hardware sales throughout the first year and a bit by giving access to Xbox Game Pass into the ecosystem across multiple different devices through your browser, through your phones, and through the Xbox One, through cloud streaming, all that type of stuff. So these sales are just more success to what Xbox has been doing this generation. They've created an ecosystem people want to sign up to and get into, and they've created a console that is very desirable. Now, here are the numbers VG Charts has as the global hardware estimates. They say Switch has 106 million, which is just crazy how well the Switch has done. The Series X and S at 13 million and the PlayStation 5 at 18 million. And this is VG Charts. Now, VG Charts isn't always correct on all of the stuff. I'm not really sure how they get these numbers because we know Xbox doesn't give their sales numbers, but they manage to have these weekly sales estimate updates. And you just take this for what it is, for face value, but it does definitely seem like Xbox is doing very well in March. It will be very interesting to see what the official MPD numbers are for March when they get released, to really get a breakdown of how the sales went. We got some more leaked images for Starfield. Now, these are images all the way back to the 2018 build of the game, so obviously it's not going to really represent what we should be getting when this game is released in November, but it's still interesting to look at because when the game is released, you're going to be able to look at these images and just kind of see how far it progressed from there. But the game right now, from these screenshots back in 2018, was looking pretty good in terms of the textures and the details and some of the things within these pictures. I mean, even just looking at the character here and then this part of whatever he's looking at within the game, they're pretty good textures. They're pretty good looking from a 2018 build, so it makes you even more excited of what we should be expecting in 2022. But other than that, I mean, nothing too crazy, nothing that is brand new. We saw a lot of these leaks, but I think there's like 5 new pictures out of this set of leaked images. Like this here, this looks pretty good. All of the textures on there, the lighting, the shine, all that type of stuff. And I'm really excited for this. I mean, they haven't given us anything yet. I'm assuming they're going to be showing us a big, deeper trailer of Starfield in the showcase that is coming up this summer. sometime in May, sometime in June. I believe June is now what we're thinking the next Xbox showcase is going to be, especially because there is no E3. Xbox is going to have to replace it with something. Still going to give us a big show talking about all of their first party games. And the highlight of that show, my guess will be, is Starfield, where they give us like a deeper dive trailer. This looks super cool. Stuff we've seen before, but like the spacesuits, the helmets. I mean, what can you say? It's Starfield. They haven't shown us gameplay. I know that's one of the big narratives right now, but it's a game, even without showing gameplay, the marketing that they've done is pretty much just talking about the game, giving us their concepts of what they were going for and getting people excited, because it sounds like it's going to be a very big and deep RPG with so many different elements where choice is going to have a big part in your overall gameplay. So that alone has people excited. It's a Bethesda game. Bethesda makes some of the best RPGs. Now all we're waiting for is the gameplay trailer and then the official release on November 22nd. So the Steam Deck has been released. We're actually going on to the second wave of emails for people who have pre-ordered to go ahead, pay for it, so they'll ship it out to you. And we got an update earlier about Xbox Game Studios games that worked on the Steam Deck that were verified. And now there are more games that are going to be working from Xbox Game Studios that will be verified to be played on the Steam Deck. So here is the new list. You have Fable Anniversary, Halo Wars Definitive Edition, Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition, Killer Instinct, Kalimba, Halo Spartan Strike, Rush, a Disney Pixar adventure. I guess some of these games were just published by Microsoft. And then you have playable games, some more added to the playable section, meaning that you can play them. They should run fine, but they aren't 100% verified. There may still be issues with it. You have Minecraft Dungeons. I think that's a big one. Gears Tactics, another big one. Deadlight, and Halo Spartan Assault. Now, this is a list that's continuing to grow, and as the Steam Deck goes on with its life cycle, it will grow more and more, and I would assume that the majority of these Xbox Game Studios games will be able to be played via the Steam Deck. But here is the entire list, and there's a bunch of the big hitters. You got like Forza Horizon, State of Decay, you have Psychonauts, you got Hellblade, and what is unfortunate so far right now, though, that is unsupported, are these ones here, Halo MCC and Halo Infinite. I'm really excited for this. I should be getting it now in Q2. That's what it says. I haven't got my email yet. But what I think I'm going to do with my Steam Deck is just install Windows and get Game Pass on there and then just download the games right to Steam Deck, and pretty much everything will be able to work. All right, jumping over here to some Sea of Thieves news. I saw this pop up on Xbox Newswire, and I was interested in what it meant. And it is that 1 million pirates have reached Legends status. Now, Sea of Thieves, we know, is probably one of the most successful Rare games, and I think a big surprise to everybody, because when it first came out, the amount of success it's achieved today, I don't think a lot of people could have predicted that, but it's doing extremely well. It continues to do well, and now they're celebrating 1 million pirate legends with a Sea of Thieves Legends Week. Now, the title for a pirate legend, how do you get this? You get it by proving your skill and spirit by reaching rank 50 with at least 3 Sea of Thieves trading companies. Now, I'm not somebody who plays Sea of Thieves, so I don't really know what this meant. I don't really know how big of an achievement this was, so I just did a quick search to see what it meant and how long it would take to get there. And why I think this is pretty cool that 1 million people got to this point is because it does seem like it takes a decent amount of time to achieve the legend status. So here's a Reddit thread talking about how long for Pirate Legend, how long have people been taking this one. Here is from 3 years ago. You can see here some of the responses that people gave. This person took 100 to 140 hours of play. This person says they take about 5 to 6 months. I would say the 5 to 6 month range is probably the general answer in this thread. This person here, 5 months, 30 days times 3 hours equals 450 hours. They say they play about 3 to 4 hours a night, so a total of 450 hours. Again, this person here, roughly 6 months. Then I went over to a newer thread where came out about a year ago, and again, it's around the same time period. This person says here 8 months, 4 to 5 months, 7 months, 2 to 3 months. So there's a big range in terms of like how long people take, but I would say on average, it seems it's around that 5 to 6 month time span it will take to get to legend status. And 1 million players have been able to do that, which I think is a great achievement for a game that when it first came out, like I said, I didn't think it was going to be able to last this long. And it just continues to get better and better as more things are achieved by the community in this game. Now, for us 1 million players, like I said, there is a celebration for the entire week starting April 5th. So starting today, actually, and going through all the way to April 11th. Well, there will be stuff that you're going to want to participate in if you are one of those 1 million players to become a pirate legend. So we've entered into a completely different time within the video game industry, something we would have never thought about seeing many years ago, and that is first-party games from the competitor platform being advertised on the other platform. For example, today is the launch of MLB The Show 22, a really great baseball game. If you like baseball, I highly recommend checking it out. And what's funny about this game is that it launches into Game Pass on day 1. So if you're on Xbox, you actually don't even have to pay for it. You're just going to be playing it right away. They had the Game Pass incentive, which gave you early access to the game, as well as a bunch of stuff for Diamond Dynasty, the card pack mode where you build your team through opening card packs. And now we're seeing this. Xbox is actually advertising MLB The Show on their Twitter banner, which Clobro here tweets out, "This is both funny and awesome." And I have to admit, I mean, to me, it is kind of funny and awesome, not from like trying to be a fanboy or anything like that, just from where we are right now within the games industry, where you see something like this, which you would have never thought of in the past. Then you even go down here into the comments and you see something like this, where PlayStation is advertising Ghostwire Tokyo, which, as we know, is a first-party Xbox game. A little bit different, of course, because this is a game where there was a deal done before Xbox actually purchased Bethesda, and they honored that deal. So there is a bit of a difference there. I think with MLB The Show, the big thing is that I think PlayStation should be putting this into their subscription service if it's on Game Pass. They definitely can do that. We know that MLB would probably rather that, because you're going to have more people jumping in, just having instant access and then spending a bunch of money on microtransactions. But hey, it's on Game Pass, so if you're looking for a place to play it, it's one of the only games you play. I think Game Pass and Xbox have just kind of a leg up for a lot of people, because they're just going to have to pay that subscription fee rather than going out and paying full price for the game, then getting access to a bunch of other games as well. So it looks like Game Pass could be getting another day 1 game. No idea what it is, but saw this on Twitter, so thought I would mention it. It comes from this person here on Twitter named Chris. Proxy is here, and in their profile they say game developer working with a private studio, and they tweet out here, "Well, my studio was officially invited to Game Pass again for a day 1 release for our new game. It's actually already on the Microsoft Store, but not publicly. We're just finalizing some things. We'll be giving product keys to friends I can trust not to leak my workplace." And people are asking what game it is, what type of game it is. Then they reply here, "I don't want to say too much too soon as it hasn't been officially announced yet, but I'll say that it's an open world roguelike. It's the biggest project the studio has ever worked on, and we will have it announced very soon." So that sounds interesting. A brand new open world roguelike game is going to be coming over to Xbox day 1 on Game Pass, if we can trust what this person is saying here on Twitter, saying it's going to be announced very soon. We know that the Game Pass announcements are generally the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays of the month. So hey, the announcement may even be today or at the end of this month, and we'll be getting just another day 1 Game Pass game. I love seeing day 1 Game Pass games coming, whether they're indie, whether they're AAA. There have been tons of great indie games coming day 1 that I've been playing recently. No One Saves the World, one of my favorite. Actually playing Weird West right now. Just finished Tunic, which I absolutely love. So excited to see what potentially this game could be. That's it for me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on all this stuff, specifically how Xbox is doing in terms of sales in March. What do you think that game is that's coming to Game Pass on day 1? The Starfield leak, and Xbox advertising MLB The Show. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you enjoyed what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.